What makes a good captain? That's a decision-making model. That's good captains follow that. But what are the I want you to tell me in one sentence what makes a good captain. And not necessarily what, but what is the why behind a good captain that makes a captain who he is? Is this hawker position a dual pilot or a single pilot position? Okay. So, but I want you to consider this. Can an a-hole be a good decision maker? Is that a-hole a good captain? Okay, so I want to break the definition until we can't break it anymore. We're going to do this until we get off until we're done. I'm going to continue to ask a follow-up question to break your definition until I can't do that anymore, so you can tell me what a good captain is. All right? So a good captain is not necessarily just someone who can make good decisions. What makes a good captain? I like it a lot more. I like that a lot more. You're heading in a very right direction. How do you define good in terms of leadership? And why is that good? Okay. So nail on the head, okay? It's perfect. Let's clean it up. If in the shortest amount of words possible, what is a good captain? A good captain is a good leader. That's the shortest answer possible. Now, if you want to expand, what makes a good leader? Okay, now you're talking about all the little things. But a good leader is somebody who changes the behavior of others because they are inspired to do that. The person whose behavior has changed feels inspired to change their behavior for the better. Okay, so that is the definition of a good leader. Now, how do you do that? There's 3 key ingredients to being a good leader. 3 key ingredients. Okay. First of all, you need to be able to build whatever it is you're building using protocols, using specific scientific models that you may or may not have created yourself. So the ADM funnel, for example, is a model to making good decisions. That's a protocol. That is something that you are using, a scientific piece of information that you're using to behave. But you could be very generic and very boring. You could be an a-hole. So the next piece, you got to build whatever it is you're building with protocols, but you have to do it with a passion, with an attitude that is exciting. And that is like, when somebody walks in the room, there's a certain song related to a human when they walk through the door. And you look at them and you can hear what the song is. Like some of them, it's like dun 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 dun, right? And there's just like this negative poo-poo all over their face, right? Now they might have great protocols. They might be great decision makers. They might be very analytical, right? But their attitude is not worth looking at, not worth being attracted to, huh? Okay, so then there's other type of people that it's more like, you've heard the Pink Panther song, doo 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 doo, and they're like mysterious. They don't really want to give you their energy. They have a little briefcase with all their secrets inside of it, and they probably make great decisions, but they're not a team. They don't have team passion, right? And then there's other people that it's like Mozart when they walk through the room, and everybody's heads turn, and they stand up, and they want to know more, and they give, and then they give it, right? And that passion is the sound that you have when you walk through the door, when you engage in anything. So when you say fly with passion, you are doing something because you want to do it and that you're excited about it. And that comes out in your behavior, in your tone of voice. Okay? And then the final piece to this is that you lead with love. So what is the definition of love? Actually, what is the definition of love? And not in terms of boy girl, just what is love for another person? You genuinely want them because you know that the protocols that you're going to give them is best for them, and you want them to adopt it. So that you come at them with this attitude, you take the time, this coach, when you say coach, what that means is you take the time to explain how the protocol applies to them and how to use it, and you teach them and you coach them how to use it, right? So the definition of a good captain is a good leader. What is a good leader? Someone who builds with protocols, who flies with passion, and who leads with love. Okay, now break that definition. Like, it cannot be broken. Following SOPs? Yep. Protocols. Making good decisions? Yep. Protocols. Being a good leader? Yep. Inspiring with my attitude. You're a team player? Yep. I love my team and want them to be the best, and that comes out, right? Like, this is what makes a good captain.